Welcome to Cantina Vizsla. For the safety of the bartenders and any other patrons, remember to keep all arms, legs, tentacles, or any other extremities you may have to yourself at all times. So come right in, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Coming to you from the Panic Room in the crap part of the cantina, I'm Sparrow, and with me, as always, is a man who some say is confused on what to do with the microphone in front of his face. All I know is I call him Stan.
Yeah, I've tried blowing on it, licking on it. Just nothing seems to work. I don't know.
Obviously, you're following social distancing and safety protocols and disinfecting with that microphone as you lick it.
Well, vaccinated now, so game on.
I am half. I went through, I think, my next shot's here in 2 weeks, so.
Nice.
Getting there. I'm surprised looking at the numbers around you. I mean, it's not a high percentage.
My little pocket of Arkansas is actually doing pretty good. I think for about 30 to 40%.
Good to hear.
Which surprises me, but I'm glad to hear it too.
Yeah.
Oh man, Moderna or which one are you going with?
It is. I believe it's Moderna. I'm trying to remember. I think it's Moderna or Pfizer, the 2-shot ones. But he could have got the Johnson & Johnson. Could have been.
Right, true.
But yeah, it's Moderna.
Okay, that's one I.
Trying to think what card I have sitting next to me.
Yeah, that's one I got too. Second shot whooped my ass. It was rough, but totally worth it.
That seems to be the consensus for everything I'm seeing around people. If they had COVID before the first shot, is just taking them out, and if they haven't had COVID and don't have any antibodies, the second shot is what's getting everybody. Yeah,
it seems to track. So if you can schedule some time off, just get ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky where I'm working right now. That if you go through and get the shot and you don't feel good, they're just like, yeah, I'm glad you got the shot, so please take care of yourself.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, shit, speaking of, man, it's been a little while, to say the least. What's been going on with you?
Oh, man, it has been a hell of a year so far. I've definitely felt like it's been nonstop, one thing after another, going through from dealing with stuff at work right now, having them throw me into a new position and be like, hey, on Monday you're ready to take over for this guy and do all the logistics. And I'm like, I guess. So that kind of threw a wrench in everything. I've done multiple interviews with people, mainly North Carolina, South Carolina area. Obviously vaccinations. Went through at one point, had my computer once again down for the count, and seems to be finally found the root cause, which apparently is lovely corporate America trying to go through and build at the lowest possible quality and get away with it. That yeah, my power supply was basically running out of juice, so anytime my computer fell asleep, it would shut off my graphics card, and my graphics card wouldn't get enough power, and then nothing would work. And yeah, so replaced the power supply, did a whole bunch of stuff with my computer, came back last month? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago. Came home from work, and there was a rock through my window. Glass everywhere, so cleaning that out and having someone to repair the glass, be like, yeah, it'll cost more to repair the window than actually just buying replacement windows. So yeah, I've been replacing windows around my house. I'm down to yeah, the obvious thing, you have one window that's broken, so you replace all your windows.
How is that going? 'Cause we're in the market to do that at our new house.
My house a little bit older, so it's kind of tearing everything apart to be able to put it in. I'm just doing the replacement windows, and after I figured it out, just sliding them in, putting them in. It's like the hardest thing is really just doing the trim. It really wasn't as bad as I thought, luckily. But I also lucked out and kind of had a a window size that was stock at Lowe's, so I was able to just go through and buy them, and they almost fit perfectly. So they just slide in, foam around it, and put trim up, and that's it. So that good and bad. So it's just time consuming running around trying to do that in between bouts of weather that's between 75 and the other day the high was 40.
Right.
I'm like, what? It's ridiculous right now here. And then my sister's about to have my second niece. She's about to have her second daughter. So
congrats.
I've been going over there waiting to help out watch my niece in case she goes into labor or anything. So over the last couple weeks, I've been staying over at their house. So yeah, I have been here, there, everywhere, nonstop motion, trying to go through and sit there late at night and try to, like, all right, let me do a couple battles here. Let me do auto arena. It's been a hell of a 2021 so far.
Yeah, for sure. And despite contrary belief, we still play the game. We still like it and want to do this show. It's life has made it impossible to get our schedule synced up. I guess for the end of last year, I don't even know if we talked about it on the show or not. It's been so long, but we decided to. The
last time we actually talked to you, I think you closed on the house and was packing everything up.
Okay, yeah. So we moved. So it took a little while to get the new place set up. This is actually my first time in the new office. So my acoustics probably sound a little different. I need to get some audio baffling, kind of knock down this echo. But yeah, got everything set up and was really kind of getting back ready to record. And then we had unexpected family had to move in for about a month or so. So that took over the office, took over all my spare rooms, so we didn't really have a place to record there. But hey, it's family, got to take care of them. So they finally got settled and moved out, and here we are.
Man, how did the cats take that? Is the bigger question that I'm sure everybody's asking.
Cats actually weren't too bad. The way this new house is set up, we actually kind of have a whole wing that's separate, so we can literally keep the cats in a whole different part of the house. They never really even knew the people were here.
So they didn't go through and break any of their phones or anything like that?
No. They were still their crazy selves, just on the other side of the house. Let's see, what else? Had a blizzard, so that was real fun. Kind of rare for down here. So really, literally snowed in for a week. So that was kind of nice. Still doing the 3D printing, prop making deal.
Well, speaking of that, with the blizzard, how did you get any of that ice that Texas got?
Yeah, it was the same storm.
Okay.
It snowed us in for a week. Power stayed on. Didn't have any issues with electricity or heat, so it was kind of nice.
Everything in the house held up well. I know a lot of people are having like frozen pipes and stuff like that around their house, and having a new house and not knowing kind of like any of those oddball things.
Yeah, I was worried about it because this house was built in the 90s, so it's a little old, but no, it survived everything. No water issues, no nothing.
Good.
But yeah, we do have some windows we want to replace. They're kind of old and kind of single pane, so we could probably get some more efficient ones there. But yeah, that's the reason people tune into the show, to see what home improvement projects we're doing.
That's right. They're just making sure, checking in on us, making sure we're still alive and still kicking. Oh man.
Oh yeah, we've hell, just in the world of entertainment, so much has already come and gone since we recorded. We had the entirety of WandaVision, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier just wrapped up. Really enjoyed those. We got Bad Batch coming out next week, so that'll actually give us some Star Wars stuff to talk about for a change.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. I'm excited to see that. I'm assuming they're doing one episode per week and not a big drop?
I think we're getting one for the 4th, and then the second one that Friday, and then it'll be weekly after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I to be honest, I wasn't that excited about it when they announced it, because I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of a cheesy gimmick, but I'm on board now. I'm so starved for content. Just give me whatever. Trailers look pretty cool, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, and they are definitely crossing over into the game, which I think we talked about originally when we were going in Clone Wars or something with that we figured as soon as the Bad Batch show was announced that we would get it right before or right as it hit. We would start getting Bad Batch characters because Clone Wars allowed for enough content for them to go through, base kits off of and everything, and then they'd be able to make the kits and then coordinate with the start of the show, and that definitely did happen.
Yeah. we called it. Yeah, characters look cool, but I mean, we'll get into all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an exciting time in the game. Finally, it had been kind of a reach to find stuff to talk about for a while, but they're doing well with putting more content and making things exciting again.
Well, so not only that, I mean, it seems like there's been a shift in the game over the last probably 2 months, 3 months. Because I mean, I even went onto the App Store and clicked on games, and all of a sudden, Galaxy of Heroes is one of the promoted games promoting the Bad Batch characters that just got released into the game. So they're even going through finally promoting the game back onto the App Store and everything like that, where pretty much all last year it just kind of was like, yeah, we're just plodding along. We don't really know where we're going to go. We don't really have a advertising plan. We don't plan on advertising. We have a player base that we enjoy, and that's going to be it. And now they're finally shifting to advertising, so they're bringing in new players, they're bringing in new content, they're bringing in new characters that everybody has been asking for a long time. So, yeah, definitely have had this big shift, which I'm very happy about and very glad that the shift is starting to happen more and more.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do, too, with just the Star Wars property overall. There's no huge tentpole movies to prop the game up with, so they're having to do this now. Have to get out and advertise and try a little harder than they had to before with kind of a built-in audience.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the TV shows with Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Kenobi, and all these other, The Mandalorian, is definitely actually probably helping out more than those actually tentpole movies for the game, because it's more of a prolonged weekly talk rather than, hey, right, huge build up, one go, and then everybody lets it go. You're pretty much having it back to back to back, 1 week for 2 months that people are talking about a show or something coming up, and then a few months later there's another one. So I think it's exciting time for the game, especially the way they seem to be shifting everything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of the game, what have you got done in the game?
All right, so I mean, last time we were talking about, I was talking with Cotman. I was going through. I'm like, I need to get Jedi Knight Luke, and I was able to go through, get that farm complete, get Jedi Knight Luke when I expected it. Immediately went through, geared up Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Got him geared up, went right to Jedi Master Luke, and I'm sitting, everybody's done, all the requirements are done. I'm just waiting on the last 20 shards of Mon Mothma, and I believe I have the gear to take her right to Gear 13, and then just have to do a little bit more relic farm to get her up to R5, and then I can start my Jedi Master Luke farm. And I went through and seeing the tea leaves. I was going through, I'm like, man, Cam has to happen. So I went through all the troopers and Shaak Ti. I took all to Relic 5 as I was waiting. I was waiting for Chupio and Mon Mothma stars. So it's like I
needed something to farm, so I went through, did that, took them all to Relic 5, still working a little bit on mods for them, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to take probably Echo and Arc to Relic 6, maybe even Shock T to Relic 6, just to try to smooth out that mission and kind of give it a little bit less RNG. It's still going to be RNG, but it'll take any of the RNG and try to shift it towards my favor as possible to try to get those cam shards and get that going. Just with the characters being announced, I see more of an emphasis on cam, on what's being required, and trying to split up those Jedi.
Yeah, well, I guess that's another thing that happened during the break is you've moved guilds. So how are y'all looking on cam?
Definitely not as good as you guys right now, but went through the guild. I actually moved over with Wink and GoodNightPunk over at the Shattered Order and started Discord basically after last time, and seeing all the farms, everybody's starting to gear up a lot more towards cam and the troopers, Shock T and the troopers, to be able to get cam shards, and that's becoming a big focus right now. Where before it was still the Crankcore, the Challenge Rancor was still kind of an issue. Everybody was still focusing on that, but this requirements and everything like that, actually even a little bit before the requirements, people are started to shift towards cam as they ran into a few of them geared up, both in Territory Wars. We ran into a guild in Territory Wars that had like 1 or 2 cams that were at 7 stars, all reliced out, and they just blew through people on a Jedi Master Luke team. So that kind of went through and kind of shifted everybody's priorities and saying, okay, well, this guy's really makes a difference. So we'll see what the next territory battles looks like as far as the shards go, but right now it's nothing to shake a stick at as far as the amount of shards.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there. We're, let me look, I think 81 of 85 right now.
Yeah, well, wait, 81 of 85, but didn't you get like 26 or 28 last time?
Yeah.
That's over half the guild succeeding at the mission, which is huge on that.
I still have not cracked that code. I've gotten close, and it seems like every time I remod and gear up even more, I get worse at it. So
Stan is like, hey, see these coattails?
Right, exactly.
I've got my arm firmly wrapped around these coattails, and I'm going to ride it.
I'll ride as far as I can.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's kind of like the only thing with that shift on the guild actually getting that many cam shards. That's the only really downside. Everything else has been pretty much equaled out. A lot less stress with bots and territory wars and just overall craziness that was happening when I left.
Yeah, it's our guild's definitely lightened up like much, and actually we got like 10 wins in a row. We finally lost, but it's been a nice little streak. So I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I was talking to, when I left, the officers reached out to me and asked why I left, and I went through and laid it out, and which we've talked so many times on the podcast about going through being an officer, how to go through and manage a guild, and these guys really weren't doing that, so I laid everything out to them, and they pretty much followed everything to a T. Focus on cam shards, lighten up on territory wars, and just kind of, in general, for right now, because stuff will be coming into the game, slow it down, and they took that advice, and it seems to be helping you all out immensely, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like the game is a lot more open, but like some of the gear grind is back with all the new characters coming out, and now a new Galactic Legend. But I don't know. It seems like a good balance. I guess on my side of the house, I did get all the Galactic Legends and was real satisfied with that for a little while. And
Until what? You sign into Grand Arena?
yeah, Grand Arenas is that mode might as well not exist for me. Yeah, it's hopefully with the new divisions, it may be fun again. But right now, it's not working for me.
I was gonna say, I think watching streams and everything of people like closer in your division and GP bracket is you put 4 Galactic Legends down, you pretty much have to have 4 non-Galactic Legend counters to them to be able to go through and actually compete at that level. So unless you're specifically focusing on gearing up and modding those counters to be able to do that, it makes everything so difficult at that GP bracket.
Right, and it just wasn't fun for me. So I've been focusing on the single player stuff. Let's see, yeah, my bracket right now I'm at 7.2 million GP, so that'll put me in Div 2 with the new bracket. So no additional cats for the 7 million. It's not happening.
Not yet.
No, but one stupid goal I had is trying to see how many credits I could accumulate, and if it capped out. And I hit a billion. I hit over 1 billion credits now.
I saw Discord do this, and they pretty much on your decision to do that. They all were like,
I am mod, you idiot.
Yeah, there's a mod. You complain about mods so much, you do realize there's a mod store. Work on some mods. You can blow through those credits very quickly.
Well, but then the problem is, like, I'm out of room for my mods. So if I buy a mod, then I have to go sell mods and then update it. And then I'm out of upgrade material because I've spent them all trying to get stupid cam shards.
This might be a good investment for you then.
Yeah.
Have you seen or been on the Hot Sauce mod utility and his web-based subscription service?
I've seen it, but I've not utilized it.
So they will actually go through and going on there. You can select a category and they will go in and just on a web base sell mods, upgrade mods, and everything without being in the game.
Yeah, how automatic is it? Like, just be like, make me good. Where's the get good button?
No,
I don't,
like honestly, you go through and say, hey, I want these mods, and kind of like the mod optimizer, in which you can kind of go through and they do have presets for characters, and they'll optimize your mods, and you can hit move mods, and they'll move them. And
yeah,
you can save a preset for your whole roster, so you can move mods around, mess around with it, like just for cam or something like that, and then go back to it and just sign in online. Just hit move mods. It'll tell you how many credits it is to move the mods. You just hit OK, and it moves it all back for you. It's one click of a button.
What I'm saying is, like, I don't have to get on there and be like, okay, this is my arena team. I want this character prioritized over this character. I just want them to do it.
I believe there's some stuff like that because they have like presets for teams. So they'll go through and like you can go say, hey, I want to mod this team with the best mods, and then I believe there's ways to basically like lock those character mods. Like you can say, hey, don't touch this character's mod. So you can mod your arena team with your best mods and then say, hey, lock those characters, don't touch their mods, and go to the next team and say, hey, mod this team. And kind of go down the line that way.
Okay, maybe. I mean, I just want to lay there and let it happen.
You can after the initial setup. It'll take a little bit to set up, but as soon as you do that, you save the mods and you can save your whole roster, so you can mess with everything and then just hit revert back, and it moves all the mods back.
Okay, it's already sounding like too much work. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Well, you mentioned Copman. He couldn't make it, at least right now. He may be able to hop on a little bit later in the show, depending on how long we go. But he's still around. He's still Dean Cotman.
He lives in the South and has to get his AC fixed. I'm outside in a hoodie because it's like 40. I think it's 50 degrees out right now, and Cotman was concerned about his AC.
Ain't no joke, man. My AC went out a couple days ago too. May or may not have been related to a weed eating incident when I was doing some yard work. According to my home warranty people, though, completely unrelated. No idea what a weed eater. What? I have no idea what that is. But yeah, it's no AC sucks.
All right. Well, what else? What else did you get here?
Let's see. Got Beskar Mando. I got all the Galactic Legends.
All right.
So I'm pretty much caught up, with the exception of the new characters that aren't farmable yet, and Cam.
How are you making out with Razor Crest?
I've got. Let's see. I've made it through the new conquest. Got all the shards from the dude. So let's see.
So succinct in your description of the game. I got those shards from that dude.
All right, yeah, the roving scavenger.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm at 102 of 145.
Okay.
So I was able to get the last tier box, last conquest. I should be able to get it this time. That should get me an unlock.
Very nice. I'm at 86. I have 86 shards right now, but I have not hit the scavenger or the roving. Basically, the store where you can actually purchase them within Conquest. I have not hit that yet. So when I hit that, I'll be able to go through them there. And then kind of with the hard mode, I've been getting the second highest tier box. So it'll be close. I'll be very close to having an unlock.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how much longer we're going to get focused on Razor Crest until they move on to their other plans that they announced. Which we'll
don't. It seemed to me that was pretty much as soon as they actually go into like a final version of Galactic Challenges, that it was going over to the new one.
Well, we've had 2.5 challenges now.
Well, I don't even know if you call that a half.
Right? Yeah, the one day it was out.
Yeah, I think they have one more planned. I think there was 3 total Galactic Challenges that were planned as their beta test or whatever before final version. So we might have one more with Razor Crest before we go into the new one.
Okay, well, what do you think?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, let's just go right into the news. Let's skip the calendar. Everybody knows what's going on, and the calendar is basically irrelevant for next week because the calendar also says there's really nothing happening on the 4th, which we all know that is a lie.
Right, yeah, we'll get our drops and get our little bonus stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's skip that. So,
yeah.
Conquest. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Only thing I'm having a problem with is kind of like managing my time for the energy. Like I go through and it's like I'll go through and play all at once, and I usually have time once a day, whether that's at lunch or in the morning, something like that. I'll sit down, blow through all my energy, and then by the time I'm able to sit down again, it's maxed out again, which I don't really know if there's a really good way around that to be able to manage that a little bit better. It's more on my end. That's really the only thing I have to complain about it. I mean, I enjoy doing that. I know it's going to help out when I get another Galactic Legend to have 3 of them to kind of intermix along with hard mode. Because, I mean, I don't know about you, but this time around, it seems like hard mode's a little bit tougher. Those characters are going a lot quicker, at least to start off the round. It seems like to try to get around some of basically the bonuses and cards that you have, And
Yeah.
they're wiping out a character, so I can't 3-star something because before I even get a turn, I have a character who's dead, and I'm like, man, I don't remember this happening last time.
Um, it's yeah. There's been a few nodes that have got me like that, where I just can't seem to get a 3-star out of it. But overall, um, I don't know. It's been kind of just go through it and like you said, just waiting on the energy. And I guess that's my biggest complaint is the ticket energy versus your stamina. The balance doesn't seem to be right there. Because I've got 4 Galactic Legends, so I can basically burn through an entire tier just using one team.
Yep.
But I run out of energy, so I have to either buy a refresh or wait a day. And if I wait a day, my stamina is all the way back, so it just rinse and repeat.
Yeah. That's what I'm running into. It's just like right now, it's like some of the feats is like use Jedi, and I'm like, I don't have Jedi Master Luke right now, so it's like, ugh.
Yeah, that makes it tough. Yeah, so like the feats are just grindy. Like it's not fun to just buy energy just to play the same node 20 times.
Well, I guess
so that's
data disc are fun. The feats are the only complaint I really have, I guess, with the feats are like, so one of the feats is like defeat 20 nodes with a full Jedi team.
right.
But there's only 12 nodes in that section. So I had to go back and repeat 8 nodes just because. I'm like, if you want the feat and say, if there's 12 nodes, I want you to go through and use Jedi all 12 times, that feat seems doable to me. But having to go through and repeat a node just to do a feat, and I basically go in and just hit auto on it, isn't...
Yeah, but those feel...
What's that?
Those feel a little cheap. Yeah, I don't care for those.
I mean, I don't mind the feat itself as far as being required to use a team like that. Going through and have the amount of battles that it requires seems cheap to me.
Right, exactly. I would like to see really more stamina used per timeout for the team, and less ticket energy used. I want to stretch my roster more than I thought I would going into this. Like right now, literally just one Galactic Legend team. I've run until I'm out of energy and just let it do its thing. If the next tier needs Dark Side, okay, well I'll switch to Kylo and do the same thing.
I think that might be more of a thing that they might have to flesh out after the beta.
Yeah.
As far as like having different tiers or something based on roster GP, on how your stamina goes down based on that. Because if you're trying to go through, do equal awards, and say they do a hard node, but, well, like even me right now. So you have 4 Galactic Legends, I have 2. Going through hard mode with that stamina and everything right now, man, that it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I could piece together some other teams, but even a General Skywalker 501st team, man, it's not a guarantee getting through some of those squads, especially towards the end to get some of those feats.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just kind of maybe longing for the days of, what's the other mode? Galactic War.
Yeah.
The original one where, you really had to stretch to get to that last node, and like you really pushed your roster to the limit trying to beat that last one. And
I definitely see that's possible. I just think they're like they said, you have to remember this part is still a beta, so they can adjust that stamina aspect. I think they might have to adjust that stamina aspect and kind of put it in brackets, just like they did Grand Arena.
Yeah.
In which the stamina consumed increases based on your roster size.
I could see that. I'd be okay with that too.
And that would go through and get... I mean, people will complain because then lower tier brackets or lower tier GPs getting the same rewards as them, but it's like... It's more about expanding your roster and trying to go through and give you a challenge and not being able to just go through and hit auto and everything.
Right. And they said this is going to be I guess, like a platform, and they'll have different themes and different, maps and things like that. But they also said the same thing about
Territory battles.
territory battles too. So we'll see.
And they did do that. And basically, they just ramped it up and said, hey, we know it's coming in the next 2 years with all these galactic legends and what Jedi coming and stuff like that. So, we're just going to make it you suffer for a year and a half until everything comes in.
Right.
It is definitely what it feels like.
Yeah. So yeah, they did mention that with the road ahead, we do have some changes coming to Conquest, some new rewards, new things to chase. You just want to go ahead and get into the road ahead?
Yeah, I mean, you go right ahead. Let's get into it. Let's go over the first thing with the Conquest news. I think is going to be the best part of it.
Yeah, so this was something you had been kind of speculating about, a character we could possibly get, and I don't think we expected to get it this way, but we're getting a new Ahsoka.
Yeah, we definitely expected this, and we both talked about it on getting it with the. We thought we would get it with the Mando characters when I was talking to Cotton.
Right, yeah.
Which, I mean, it is falling still kind of in that time period, but man, the other thought was actually going through when the new Ahsoka TV show comes out, and that didn't happen, but I'm not upset about this at all.
No, yeah, this is
fine.
This is fine. They're talking basically Commander Ahsoka Tano, going to be kind of in between a legendary or a legend and a I guess a hero's journey type character.
Yeah.
So strong, but not game breaking if you can't get her. But the cool thing is you should be able to get her full 7 stars after 3 hard conquests.
Yeah, and even if you don't get her full at 7 stars, as soon as she gets out of Conquest, she's going to become farmable. If I was reading that correctly, which same thing with the Razor Crest. So I actually like that character progression going through having that as far as, hey, if you do well at Conquest, you're going to have this character at 7 stars or at least unlocked. And if you don't, basically your penalty is you're going to have to waste time and energy to farm that character up to 7 stars and then go from there. And the worse you do, the more time and energy you have to put into it to get caught up with that, which is definitely fair to me.
Oh yeah, and then they'll rotate the rewards out. So even if you're still doing Razor Crest, there'll be other options out there. And see what the did they say they were moving Conquest to once a month or?
I'm not really. I didn't really pay attention to that. I wasn't really concerned with that aspect of it because they were still going through the amount of changes that's going to be shifting for so long. But I mean, my big thing is Commander Ahsoka going to be a Jedi?
Oh, it's a good question. Like I'd be curious to see her kit.
Mm-hmm.
They did say the cadence is going to be switched to once per month.
Okay.
So that's a little disappointing. I mean, the game needs more stuff to do, and Conquest was a nice mode to, like, at the end of the day, you've run your arena, there's not a whole lot to do. Hey, let me go into Conquest and do a couple of matches there. Mm-hmm. The game really needs something like that, and I don't know, once a month is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, but that's one thing, but I mean, the character, man, I'm definitely excited for this. It's one of the things that I'm thinking it's going to help out with Lightside TV going through, especially if she's listed as a Jedi or even Galactic Republic.
Yes.
Arrow-wise, I think she might be still listed as a Jedi.
Well, I think so. Being a commander, I mean, once he left the Order, who the fuck's he commanding?
Yeah. So I think she's basically going to be Galactic Republic, Jedi, have something to do with the clones also, which will be, man, that'll be great. Yeah. That'll help out Lightside Territory Battle out of very end. I mean, they already said they were planning on making her a pretty strong character right below a Galactic Legend, so that should, definitely helps with the amount of Jedi. And then right behind it, they go through and announce a new Galactic Legend that
Right.
will help with this also. So you're adding another team to it, which would be amazing.
Yeah, and one last clue on the time frame. Her sabers, they're blue.
Oh, they're both blue, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably well, that could be right when she left the Order then. Basically, the last season of Clones, which could be problematic with that Jedi tag.
Yeah, too many command.
Yeah. I don't know. We will see with that one.
Legend. Hello there.
Yeah. Oh, man. Definitely going to make light side territory battles much better with those double Jedi nodes going through, being able to have, or at least the possibility of having 2 galactic legends go into there with General Kenobi, or Jedi Kenobi, I think it's this one, is listed as, and then Grandmaster Luke for the other Jedi node should help out a ton to be able to get a lot more points and get everything in there, allow more opportunities to get stars.
Yeah, and we'll have that, and all of the bullshit Jedi they're going to make us tier up and relic up to get Kenobi.
Well, which, if you have Cam, all those bullshit Galactic Republic Jedi
Right.
are really good.
Yeah. So maybe silver lining.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I need to focus on Cam, because if they're going to make me gear up Ayla and like Plo Koon or Kit Fisto or any of these other guys, I was like, I'm gonna need a character that makes them good, and Cam does make that team good.
Yeah, so let's hope so. So they released the first batch of requirements for Kenobi.
Kenobi?
No, it's Jedi Master Kenobi.
Okay.
JMK. So Group 1 requirements, we've got General Kenobi at Relic 8, which I really hate that that's a thing now.
It's not as bad. Relic 8 General Kenobi is really not that bad. Mainly because when you're going through and looking at everything, it's not like a Relic 7 Sith Marauder.
Right, yeah.
It could be a lot worse. They actually taken Relic 8, a very good character, to Relic 8.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that. So we got Negotiator at 6-star. It's not too bad.
Oh.
Mace Mace. I'll talk about replacing Windows. Mace Windu, Relic 3.
Not terrible. It's another ship. They're pushing ships.
Yeah, fingers crossed for a rework there.
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, they're going through those characters you wouldn't touch otherwise, and now and in the process, it's upgrading your fleet. Okay.
Yeah. Ayla Secura, Relic 3.
Ayla's been a character I've been wanting to farm since the Qui-Gon Jinn meta and the Stunlock teams. And guess what? She's still a Gear 8. So having a reason to go through and gear up Ayla is not really heartbreaking to me.
Yeah. Maybe, like I said, maybe we'll dust her off once I get Cam and can use her in territory battles. And then Bo-Katan, Relic 5.
Relic 5, Relic 3.
Relic 5.
All right. Let me update your
Typo.
your outline's wrong.
No.
Telling me Relic 3.
What a disappointment I turned out to be.
Bo-Katan to me is not.
I'm not mad at it.
It's one of those characters that I don't think is going to have the immediate payoff. But because the Mandalorian, the way that season's progressing, next season going through, I see that character becoming more and more relevant as we go further along compared to right now.
Yeah, I mean she's a good Mandalorian leader. That faction needs some love.
Yeah, and
it still seems to be missing a few pieces to make it super top tier.
Yeah, but I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for that to still happen because of where the Star Wars universe is currently. It's just not going to have that immediate payoff, kind of like Ayla or General Kenobi, Mace Windu having his capital ship immediately becoming relevant. So, overall, not bad.
No.
So, I mean, obviously, we're going to get more character requirements with this. So, who do you think? Well, yeah, who do you think's going to go through and be put in here with this?
I'm thinking, like you mentioned, some of the other less desirable Galactic Republic Jedi, Kit Fisto, Ethkoth, if they're being dicks. Plo Koon, I think, is probably a lot because he has a ship. Mm-hmm. There's bound to be another marquee character because they're going to want to sell them.
I mean, Sith Eternal only had really Piet.
Yeah.
So it's definitely within the realm of possibility of that only being one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Well, let me throw some out here. So we have General Grievous.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So obviously you're going to go through, I would imagine, some version of Anakin. It has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see who else we have here. I definitely think Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, definitely Qui-Gon.
Could see some Grandmaster Yoda.
Yeah.
They're going to require another. They might require another ship somewhere in there. But I mean, overall, if you had those Jedi, you had Grievous and Anakin, Ahsoka would be another one to add.
Yeah.
Could be. You think Padme?
I could see that. Yeah.
Padme, R2. There's going to be, once again, just like we discovered before with the second round of Galactic Legends, I think there is going to be crossover that if you have one Galactic Legend, especially if it light side wise, you might have that crossover. And that's where I'm thinking like Anakin, Ahsoka, Padme, some of the stuff that people actually have reliced up would not be out of the realm of possibility of being required.
Right.
But I think by the time you add all that, that's pretty much right where you're sitting at where you need to be.
Well, I can see maybe, depending on how the show goes, maybe Bad Batch, some of these new characters as a requirement. Because we're getting the next set of requirements on the 19th of May, and then the final set on the 9th of June.
Well, maybe not Bad Batch, but Commander Cody.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah.
It's kind of an underutilized character that a lot of people... I think the last time that people dramatically used Commander Cody would have been the tank raid.
Yep. And he's a login character for the month.
And he's also required for Lightside TV for a mission.
Yep.
And that would kind of force people to relic him up to do that mission and have an incentive. So, I think in Commander Cody and General Grievous are pretty much locks there, along with Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka. Then you kind of go into that last tier of the Jedi you were talking about. Plo Koon, Qui-Gon Jinn, Ayla, Kit Fisto. Or not Ayla, but Luminara. That's who I'm thinking of being required.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see how well we did.
But, so we have a flip side of this. They said they would always do the Galactic Legends in pairs. Right. Light side, dark side. They kind of walked back a little bit of that after watching the data, which I'm kind of on the fence about, of releasing both at once. They said, we want people to focus on one at a time. Okay, but at the same time, I kind of like that. What are you going to go after? Are you going to go after light side, dark side, giving the players a choice of which character they want to go after first? So it's kind of like, I'm 50-50 on the way it's going through. Don't hate it. Not overly overjoyed about it.
I think they were seeing, I think a lot of people just didn't go for any of them. They're like, you know what? This is too much. Screw it. I'm going to go do my own thing. And maybe that's
I think a little bit of that, and I think they saw way too many people hoard until they actually saw the kits, and then went after one.
Yeah.
So
that's
probably what they're trying to avoid. But with that, who do you think the dark side counter to Jedi Kenobi is going to be?
really the only thing that logically makes sense would be Dark Anakin.
Not the only one.
What you got? 'Cause I'm drawing a blank.
Maul.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Constant one going through all the way through the end of both Maul and Kenobi. It's pretty much they battled each other throughout all the series.
Yeah. I'd love to see Robo Legs Maul.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm leaning. I mean, I know a lot of people want that fallen Anakin / Lord Vader tag in there and also character, but man, there's so many Anakins and all those Anakins are so close in era.
Yeah.
Together, and throwing another one on, it's like, hey, now we're only talking about a couple hours difference between one and the other.
Right.
So having Maul, especially just Maul, with the length of time within the Star Wars universe, being in Rebels, Clone Wars, Phantom Menace,
Right. Solo.
Yeah, Solo. That's what I'm thinking of. So in Solo, going through all these series, that he definitely fits that Galactic Legend tag to me, and I think he should be the one, and he would definitely fit of being the counterpart to Kenobi.
Yeah, I like that.
So we'll see which one's right.
Yeah, well, I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. Change Stan's mind.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're still working on the older Galactic Legends, they're doing some double drops for Rey and Kylo's requirements.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Well, I think that's over already. Yep.
Yeah, did it end today?
Ended yesterday.
Okay, well they've been doing that. That was on nothing I needed to farm, so.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I was kind of looking at it for some Piet shards, but that was about it. Just
gotcha.
Because I don't have Sith Eternal, but I think I'm just gonna forego Sith Eternal. I'm gonna get Jedi Master Luke, and since I'm so close, and just roll right into keeping up with the General Kenobi or Jedi Kenobi requirements of shards. Because I could I'll have to do the gear part to get that one piece for Relic 8 to take Kenobi in there, and then all the other ones really aren't too bad. I should be able to do pretty quick. And we were talking before the podcast we started recording that Bo-Katan should be becoming farmable here within the next couple weeks, right? I wouldn't be surprised if she drops on the 4th.
I'm gonna say not the 4th, probably the 6th, because they're doing double drops on the 4th and the 5th.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, they've done it before, in which they went through and made a character farmable going right into double drops for the 4th and everything. So, I could see it going either way. And the way they've been doing the Galactic Legends, they have kind of shifted it of the character requirement as they go through. The characters need to be becoming farmable right when they get the requirements released.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I'm hoping we get some double drop, and I hope they put her on Cantina to kind of speed that farm up. But I'm really expecting a 20 energy ship node.
Hey, I would not be opposed to a 20 energy ship node, considering I am closing in on finishing Mando. And as soon as I do that, I have everything farmed character-wise and ship-wise within the ship nodes, so would not be terrible. Now,
maybe they could put it like on a 10 energy ship node.
Don't get your hopes and dreams up.
I know, I never do. So yeah, May the 4th coming up, my birthday. Also Star Wars Day. So they're doing their yearly celebration. We're gonna get some goodies. Looks like a whole bunch of gear and some credits and all that fun stuff. We get a
Clone Wars Chewie shards.
Of course, got to get those 3.
Yep.
You get a title and a portrait for the Bad Batch.
We should have the final character of the Bad Batch released also.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's going to be Crosshair or Echo?
We gotta be careful on this conversation. I've seen some things. I'm thinking Echo.
You've seen something. Oh dear.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've seen some things. I've seen the future.
Just talking about the show and the plot and get Crosshair and it be used as a requirement for some sort of Echo event. Or we could just get all of them just marquee.
Yeah, I'm thinking the one that's going to be announced here on the 4th is going to be Crosshair to go into a Echo event. I just do not see any way around that. They're lining this up, and even seeing the data mine stuff just kind of. The data mine stuff's either going through and updating stuff for Galactic Challenge, or not Galactic Challenge, the Galactic Legend events coming up. The characters that are being put in there are getting reskinned, but also for another legendary event or Hero's Journey event.
Yeah, I've seen that. And I'm also, in case y'all don't know, they're data mining some new art for some of the characters. They're doing some reskins. Farm Boy Luke's one of them.
Jedi Anakin.
Yeah.
Kylo. Rey. It just some of
some
them.
Of the older characters.
Yeah, some of them I think are just updates to kind of go through their kind of like starting characters for new players coming in. So I understand why they would want to go through and update those models. And some of them seem like they would fit very well into the storyline of the Galactic Legend event or a Hero's Journey event, in which they're redoing the character for cinematic purposes. And they said, hey, might as well go through and just update the model because we already have to do it for the actual animations and everything for the cutscenes. So
and
that's more of why I think these are. It's not so much that the characters are getting reworked. I just think they had a place within the game that they're working on for a cutscene and updated the model, and might as well put it in the game, right?
Yeah, and that's one thing too. Like the new animations and newer characters, like these little cinematics are doing for Bad Batch, is just incredible.
Yeah,
like this looks so good, and then you compare that to some of the original characters that just look like doo doo.
Yeah, this is definitely what we were. Yeah, definitely what we were talking about the end of last year, in which everybody was up in arms because there was nothing going on in the game except CG kept saying they were doing this Unity upgrade. This is where they were talking about the Unity upgrade, being able to put these animations in, being able to upgrade the character models and things like that, and add those polygons, add everything into it, and it's just slowly starting to trickle down now. And it was never going to be, hey, everything's going to get updated at once. It's as it fits into the game, as they have to do a cinematic, as they have to do another event, they're going to update those characters that are involved with each one of those. And progressively, maybe even Tuskens might get a touch-up as far as character models go.
Yeah, so this kind of rolls into kind of what's coming up with the game. Early May, they're going to have another title update, which is going to kind of revamp the new player onboarding experience, which we've talked about, the game needing for a while. And then continue improvements down the road. And they said there's going to be a shipload of changes coming to the game.
Yeah, man, it definitely has me excited to be able to go through and use ship. I actually went through and used all my ship Omegas. So my whole fleet's Omega'd out. And I'm just hoarding currency.
I'm really hoping for something with fleets. I'd like to see it in the conquest table, or even just a galactic war table for ships.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right. There is not that. I think Conquest should have a tier that's all ships.
Or at least a node to something.
Yeah. I think going through just the way they do the energy and stamina, I think you would almost have to do like a whole tier of just ships just to make it some sort of challenge and not having to blow through with
All right.
one team at a time. If it's just one node per tier, it's like it doesn't really matter. You're just taking your best ship and you're always going to have the stamina to be able to do that. But yeah, that needs to be there, which I think that looking at the Galactic Legend requirements, both for Rey, for Sith Eternal, for Jedi Master Luke, they're putting a lot of the requirements in there. Like Sith Marauder, everybody's up in arms. Hey, he goes to Relic 7, but he has a ship. They seem to be going through and taking all those characters that we complained about having a crew member attached to them and giving people a benefit if they already geared them up, or making people gear those up so those ship power levels balance out and aren't so reliant on crew members by having everybody actually have them farmed up.
Yeah. You think they're going to make any changes to Fleet Arena? Maybe add some crystals to the payout or rearrange some of that?
I'm hoping they go through and do that and kind of mirror the regular arena as far as payouts go. I see them more when they go through and say a shipload of changes. I think it's going to be like a ship raid in which there's another capital ship and they're going to have just more ships come in general without crew members, without things tied to it. That way it's more of a standalone game mode that's not relying on other things.
I hope so. We've been talking about ships for as long as we've been doing this show.
Yeah.
They've really got to shit or get off the pot with it.
I mean, overall, ships isn't bad. I do enjoy ships. What's bad about ships is they've let it linger for so long here recently.
Yeah.
And not balance out those teams. It's like, hey, you have a negotiator and you have General Kenobi, and that's it. Hey, we release Radis and the Finalizer, but guess what? You can't use them in Arena effectively because they do not have enough ships. They don't have tanks. There's reasons behind it, and I think going through adding ships, adding just pieces here and there, it's like I would love to be able to use a bounty hunter fleet, but guess what? You can only use them as really reinforcements, and even then they aren't great at it, but there's plenty of bounty hunter ships.
Right. Ships right now is like a Little Caesar's cheese pizza. Like, it's inoffensive. You'll eat it. But there's so much just better stuff out there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that need to go through. But it's like where Arena was right before Galactic Legends. You had two really strong teams that went back and forth. That was it. And then with these Galactic Legends, they got that balance in which there's a rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. There's four teams that kind of, depending on who you're going up against and the composition, is going to be the counters. Hopefully that road ahead signal is that they're going to start focusing on ships and try to create that feel also on the ship side.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else on the road ahead you want to talk about?
Not really. I think basically just going through, I think definitely leading towards a possible ship raid or something to do with ships, and definitely think Maul's the other Galactic Legend that's going to be upcoming. I think the only other thing to really say about that is I don't know whether it was in the road ahead or in another post in which they did go through and finally CG got off the pot and said, you know what, it's not that bad for us to do title updates. It doesn't need to be a big to do a title update, and that they said they got off of that, and when they have a fix available and they need to go through and do it, and if it requires a title update, they're going to do the title update, which I'm very glad to hear, rather than saying, well, we need to wait for our next title update to implement it. They're just like, yeah, we'll just put it out. Do a title update. It doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, I mean, the game industry moved that way years ago, but I mean, we're in the era now of Fortnite, games as a service, where people expect weekly updates.
Yeah, and
and again, they're having to try a lot harder now to keep that audience. So it's all good. It's great. Glad to.
Yeah, it's a great shift. It's frustrating that it took that long, but I'm glad they did make that switch to start doing those more frequent title updates. But to go along with that, just how we were talking about data mine with new reskins for characters and packs and things like that they're actually putting in there. Before, they didn't like doing the title updates because I honestly think they did not like people data mining it to try to figure out what's upcoming in the game.
That could be. And
now they kind of backed off on that and said, hey, if you guys want to do the work and you find that stuff and you're able to interpret what's in there for what's upcoming, more power to you. It gets you guys talking about the game. It creates engagement, and they aren't trying to shut down everything that people data mine, which I'm happy to see finally.
Yeah, need to have open communication with your audience. Mm-hmm. They support the game. They're excited about it.
Yeah, let them be excited. Let them speculate. Let people go through. Let them see what you're working on. They like seeing, hey, there's new character models. Man, it'd be awesome when we go through. Let's see what they look like and go from there. I mean, they're excited to see what work everybody's putting into the game.
Right. Let's see, kind of moving on here. Marquee, we got behind on that. Since we last recorded, Moff Gideon, Quill, IG-11, and the Armorer all went free to play.
It came out and went free to play.
Woo! Right. So now we've got Dark Troopers next on the free to play list. Should be this week. I would expect with the May 4th event, we may get that with double drops. Bo-Katan scheduled for around the 12th, looks like, and then we'll get into Bad Batch in June. So the 3rd, 10th, and 24th will be Hunter Tech and Wrecker in that order. A lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely excited. It's nice to see characters on the Marquee Watch. That's for sure.
Yeah. For a while, it was empty.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It had a ship on it.
Right. Bumping and grinding with. Yeah. You want to talk about that, or just keep on moving?
Well, I mean, we pretty much already talked about it. That you're going through, waiting for the next batch of released requirements for Kenobi. I'm pretty much doing the same thing. I'm just going through, getting the last couple shards for Mon Mothma, and then I will be gearing up all the Kenobi stuff. And the only thing I'm kind of behind on that I really just, especially after seeing the kit for Beskar Mando, really wasn't like
right.
It wasn't game changing, so I really didn't prioritize it. So I am working on like Quill, IG-11, and Cara Dune to try to get them up to at least, mainly to unlock Beskar Mando so I can use the Razor Crest.
Cara who?
Yeah.
You mean soon to be renamed Female Galactic Republic Commando or something?
Female Commando?
Right. We'll see what happens with her.
Unnamed Female Commando.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that I've been working on. I mean, it's kind of surprising me. Usually I don't go through and benefit too much from these announcements, especially Galactic Legends, and this is actually just falling into a perfect timing for me. That I'm really one character away from Jedi Master Luke and start that farm, that I can go right into that and then go right into Kenobi, and I'll just ignore Sith Eternal. Man.
Yeah, he's fun in very, very specific instances. Like he's cool on a few territory battle waves, but it's not game breaking if you don't have him.
Yeah, I'm just not a big. I've always been more light side focused than anything else. It's like all the Sith teams, even during like the mall meta and everything like that. I'm like, man, they look like fun, but always found a reason to farm a different light side team, and it's like I don't have really any of those Sith geared up. So we'll see.
Yeah, and really, Star Wars news has been kind of light as far as like I guess. I don't know how to put this mainstream stuff goes. I mean, the High Republic books are out. I think they're already in phase 2. Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy's been released. A lot of comics coming out. Have you been following any of this stuff?
Not so much the books. I've been following a little bit more of all the TV series that have been confirmed or greenlit. There have been a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping we get some sizzle reels or something for some of the upcoming shows. I'd love to see a trailer for Kenobi. It might be a little early for that.
Well, they said they're actually starting to film that. I think that was last month they started filming that. So it's getting close in which we should start seeing a trailer.
Yeah, and really with using the volume and the new technologies, it's quicker than having to go to locations and do all that stuff. So maybe they can produce this stuff quicker.
Yeah.
As far as like go ahead.
Ahsoka was another one. I've seen a lot of teasers as far as that series.
Yeah, Ahsoka, Acolyte.
And a lot of rumors about Thrawn.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of stuff about that. That definitely exciting.
Thrawn, casting rumors for Ezra. Real excited to see where that goes. High Republic stuff. I read the first book or listened to the first book, Light of the Jedi. It was better than I expected. Not knowing any of the characters or not having any really attachment to any of them kind of made some of it fall flat. But the story structure was cool. The bad guys, the Nile, were kind of lame at the beginning, but really came together at the end as a cool threat. I want to keep going in it. I'll let my Audible subscription lapse, so I need to get back on that so I can start listening to these things again.
I've been trying to, on Audible, I've been trying to get caught up on sci-fi fantasy series that are the classics that for some reason I never listened to. So I've been listening to Dune and what was the other one? Dune series was the main one that I was going through and doing, and then the other one was, let me look it up here. Oh, The Foundation. Isaac Asimov and The Foundation. So it's like two very classic sci-fi books that just for some reason never read, never listened to, and started to go back through, especially with the Dune movie or TV series, I forget, coming out. I was like,
the movie coming out.
Yeah, movie. I was like, man, I better go through and actually see what everybody's talking about with this before I go through and start watching it.
Well, that way you can tell everybody the book's better.
Something like that.
Well, I mean, if you really want the classic sci-fi content, you got to get on Disney Plus and watch the old Ewok shows.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So yeah, they put those up. They put the old animated Clone Wars series up. I think the Ewok movies.
Oh yeah,
I forget what it.
Disney Plus is great as far as the amount of stuff they're putting up on there right now.
Yeah, I'm just the Marvel stuff. I had zero expectations for, but it has just blown me away. So I am all on board with whatever they want to put out.
As much as people complain about Disney, they do put out good. They take their series. I think it's good content. They like going through and they put out. It's not one of those things. Oh well, you'll get it eventually. It's not a Game of Thrones thing in which hey, you'll get that book when you're good and ready for it. Disney's
right.
like, nope, you're gonna get that, and we're gonna have something out for that series about once a year for you.
Yeah, it's looking forward to Loki and Bad Batch. A lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah. So, man, let's get on out of here.
Yeah, let's not lose the keys to the panic room this time.
Well, we'll go through. May the 4th be with you. Happy birthday early.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, if you're still subscribed, thank you. Let your friends know that we're back. We've got another show. I think we're in a position now where we can start doing these regularly again.
I think definitely think that's the case, and I think there's probably a lot of people that probably forgot they were subscribed, and guess what? Haha, gotcha.
Right. Yeah, it's life has a way of happening, and
yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can say about that.
Enough said.
Right. Find us on Discord. It's probably the best way to contact us. We've stayed active on there, so we had the text version of our shows going on the Discord.
Yeah, don't mind commenting with his memes or random conversations. He does comment things on there.
Of course, yeah. That's why we love him.
Oh, man. So, we will keep up with this, promise. But until next time, guys, later.
Yep.
As you are exiting the cantina, we would like to say thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you out on the hollow table soon.